Welcome back to Evo World 6.5 Tommi Makinen edition. Okay, I think it's Wednesday and that's about 6 or 6:30 or 7. It's a warm night here in Adelaide, so it's ideal for working. Okay, I've got the tank out. Don't worry about this has nothing to do with the Evo. I don't do work like this. It's not in my DNA, I'm too old. So this is the last time I ever do shit like this, I tell you. People that do this are far superior to people that pull a crankcase apart from that and check the tunnels with, you know, 1.5 thou clearance on the crankshaft and end float and stretch on bolts and stuff like that. This is actually work. Wasn't that bad, but it's a lot of work. So let's get straight to the point. Where's the light? There's a light here. I've got a mess everywhere. Right, if we can see, don't focus on those things first. Have a look at that. That's nice, isn't it? That's like, I don't know, an Iraqi water well after the Americans invaded. So with this one, that's a bit better actually. That might be, I don't know, some other Middle East oil well. Excuse me, the fumes. Let's just check out the senders. So this is just top notch. This is the one I believe that just, like, that's just seized. There's a fuel filter there. I don't think that works. I think this is the one that balances both the tanks, because they're a saddle, if you can see. And this is the pump assembly. So the pump, the last service, the guy replaced the pump externally to make it easier to replace. I wonder whether he's a wanker or not. And he commented on there was a bit of shit in the tank. He's cleaned it. He's done a pretty good job, because my next video is I'll cut that filter open, and that'll be what the donkey sucks up from the dam when the two Irish guys are dealing with the donkey. This one here, which is something to do with the emissions, that's fine, it's plastic. The hoses are good. I don't believe it's been out. What's really weird is we've got the hose clamps here, which are Japanese. I'll tell you a joke about them when I was an apprentice. On that end was a Trident clamp. So I think the filler neck's been out, but I don't reckon the tank's been out. What I'm really pleased about is we've got a return line and a fuel pressure line. So we are going to source a brand new one of these, which is available, because that's not seized. Oh God. And this little jobby, that's sort of seized as well. This is not available. When I say this is available, we can get this from the US from a mob, so we're going to buy that. That's the last one on earth. They don't make one of these. The tank, you can't see it. It is absolutely chock-a-block full of rust. Excuse me, but the fumes are getting to me. I'm quite experienced with fuel tanks and rust, so that's not an issue. We'll go through that in another episode. This will be clean, descaled, degreased, and there'll be a product called Pour 15 stuck in it, or a similar product, which has been done on the clunker, the German Porsche clunker. Then you can put ethanol and spirits, or I don't know, whatever you want in it. Thinners, it'll be fine. So that'll fix that. It's very sort of hard to, there's 2 drain bolts in the bottom of it. You've got to be a bit fussy with threads and shit, but that tank will come up like brand new. There's a mob in Adelaide here that will clean that, do an exchange, but they do nothing with the tank. It's rusty, so if you don't fix it, it's only going to rust again. We're going to fix it once, we're going to fix it properly. God, sorry, these bloody fumes. So this will be fixed. That'll be replaced. It'll all be done. I'm guessing the lines are okay. I think they're a different material, but anyway, the lines are going to be fine. The filter's up the front. I haven't checked the last receipt for the service, but I don't even think he replaced the filter. He did overhaul the injectors, because when you've got a fuel tank that looks like that, the best thing you can do is overhaul the injectors. This just really annoys me. I don't know if you can see it, the rust that's in there. Hang on, let's have a look. Take a look at that. This really annoys me that people are robbing people of money for no reason. If this car came to my workshop, it's really simple. I'd charge a week. Let's just round to 40 hours. Pull this tank out, seal it, put it back in, change the front fuel filter, do the filler neck, do the odds and ends. 40 hours, $100 an hour, $4 grand. So it'll probably be closer to $5,000 in labour. So $5 grand in labour. That pump there, I think, is 120 US. So let's round that off to $400 Australian. We're now to, I don't know, four and a half, $5 grand. This thing here is probably $1 grand, or probably $6 grand. Fuel filters are worth nothing. Buy half a dozen of them, because this car will need a fuel filter every month for the next 6 months just to get it right. Excuse me. Then there'd be no guarantee on anything else in the fuel system. Just to fix that, the guy should have said it's about a $6,000 job to fix the fuel tank once and properly. It'll need 2 guys to put it back in. Just got to find another mate that'll help me with that, which I reckon I know who he is. God, I'm really sorry. The fumes are really getting to me. That'd be annoying. Tail shaft, 3-piece tail shaft. I forget where the bolts are. There's the bolt that comes out the tail shaft. There's 6 of them. 2 of them broken. Last service, didn't pick up on that. So we need 6 of them. Wheel nuts. It's got lock nuts, and the lock nuts are incorrect. If you have a quick look here, these Zenki wheels have a nice washer, and the lock nuts have nothing. So I'm pretty sure the wheel was designed to have 5 wheel studs, not 4 1/4. So we're going to fix that. I'd really like to take these Brembos off, because they're absolutely rooted, and get them re-baked or whatever they do. I don't know who doesn't, but someone would do them. This isn't a Brembo, but if you have a look at the front of this one, I think they'd be well worth it. I could rip them off and pull them apart, and I don't know, they'd be pretty simple work, and it'd really make the car nice. So that's where we're at to. We're going to put some Pour 15 in that tank. They'll be ordered tomorrow. Got really hot weather here now, so that's the time to do this fuel tank. This will come up like an absolute treat. I've done plenty of fuel tanks, and that'll come up absolutely perfect. Just got to chuck the other shit in the bin. And if we go back to the clunker, got the bull terrier there. She won't move. Well, she will move. All right. Now, last episode, the K&Ns. Look how nice they are now. Cleaned, beautiful. So tomorrow's going to be 41 degrees. I'm going to zip down to my local cafe, have a coffee in this clunker, because I know it'll run perfect, because I've done the fuel tank and the system. Actually, while we're at it, if you're into Evos, these things run Webbers. So this has a pump in the rear, which is here. I've done all this before, but they don't have a lift pump from the tank, these early ones, and runs a filter, and then it runs 1 filter, 2 filters to each carburetor, which are triples. It's got theoretically 6 carburetors on it. So 3 filters. This thing here has a screen, where are we? On the pump, has a screen on that which balances the tank, because it's a saddle type tank, and then it's got a filter up the front. Clean fuel, clean air, clean oil. Thing will run forever. That was what I was taught, and it hasn't changed. So we're going to sort this thing out, and it'll be $1 million shortly. So hopefully by Friday we can get this tank done, if I can get the sealer for it, because it's going to be a really hot day. I will show you, but you run a vacuum cleaner after you've degreased this in this fuel tank for I don't know, a day, 24 hours. You suck it, you've got to dry it. It's got to be completely dry, and it'll be $1 million. Anyway, there's an update on the Evo before I forget, because it was a bastard to do. Had to drop the differential down. You can't see it. There's a bracket that goes through that bolts it to the floor. It would not come out. But anyway, I can't complain. It's Japanese, and if you've got a Japanese car, no matter how hard it is, it's going to be easier than any other car made. Guaranteed. Later.